first looked upon the warriors of your island nation, I felt the ghosts behind them, not ghosts of weakness or shame, but of memory, a chain of ancestors stretching so far behind their backs that even the force itself seemed to bow under its weight. Japan, a name spoken like the unsheathing of a blade, a land born of fire and stone, shaped by the sea and guarded by mountains that rise like the ribs of some ancient god-beast, a people who survived typhoons, invasions, feudal wars, famines, earthquakes, their own emperors, and their own ambitions. To understand Japan is to understand a people who carved themselves into steel. I will tell you their story now. Origins, the roots, beneath the volcano, before samurai, before shoguns, before emperors. There were the Jaman, hunter warriors, who lived by sea and forest, who carved spirals into their pottery like they were tracing the patterns of their storms. Then came the Yei, farmers and smiths, who forged bronze and iron, and whose rice fields became the heartbeat of an island. From these two currents came one river people, proud, resilient, shaped by storms, like my Kalish kind. If we had been born under cherry blossoms and winter snows, their myths speak of gods birthing their homeland with a spear dipped into the oceans. Even their legends begin with a weapon. Rise of the warrior, samurai, and the first shoguns. War made Japan, from clan skirmishes to the great wars of emperors and generals. Power changed hands like a blade passed between rivals. The samurai rose, armored like lacquered beetles, carrying banners marked by their clans, guided by a code they called Bushido. Honor, duty, courage, loyalty. These were not hollow words. They were the bones beneath their armor. This was the era of Terra and Minamoto, warring for control of the throne. Kamakura rising, the shogunate born. Ashikaga fracturing the realm. Oda Nobunaga, the demon king who shattered the old world. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the peasant warlord who united it. Tokugawa Ieyasu, the patient serpent who forged a 250-year peace. Japan did not move through history. Japan fought through it. Sengoku Jidai, the age of the warring states. This was the beating heart of the Japanese soul. Dozens of clans, hundreds of battles, thousands of warriors testing each other in fire. Names that still echo like war drums. Take Doshinjin, the tiger of Kai. Yusugi Kenshin, the dragon of Echigo. Date Masamune, the one-eyed hawk. Sanada Yukimura, the crimson spear. Hojo, the castle builders. Shimazu, the island wolves. Mari, lords of the sea. Chasakabe, masters of Shikoku. Each clan like a Kalish tribe. Proud, fierce, claiming banners, colored with the blood of rivals. Their battles were symphonies of ash and steel. The Imjin War, Japan's first empire beyond sea. Then came a moment when Japan turned its gaze outward. Hideyoshi, filled with ambition, burning brighter than any star, sought to conquer the Asian mainland. Korea was invaded. China intervened. The seas boiled with war. It was a campaign of brilliance and cruelty, courage and tragedy, victories forged in mud, and atrocities carved into hearts. Samurai clashed against Korean generals, Ming armies, and naval heroes like Admiral Shin, whose turtle ships tore through Japanese fleets like beasts of iron. On my world, we would say, this was the war that tested their soul. Japan did not gain empire, but they gained stories, scars, and a warning from their ancestors about ambition without purpose. Tokugawa peace, the stillness before the storm. For 2.5 centuries, Japan closed its gates, locked the world out, locked itself in. In this stillness, arts blossomed. Kabuki, haiku, tea ceremony, swordcraft refined to spiritual precision. This era was both beauty and pressure. A blade sharpened too long begins to itch for war. Meiji, the awakening of the Iron Phoenix. Then the gates opened. The West came. Ships of steel, guns of smoke, demands like thunder. Japan looked at its future and chose. Adapt, evolve, become something new. In just decades, they transformed. Samurai became officers. Rice fields birthed factories. Old swords met new rifles. Steamships became battleships. Feudal clans became modern provinces. They shattered China's old empire. They humbled Russia. They proved to the world that an island nation could rise like a phoenix of iron and ambition. But every rise casts a shadow. The empire triumphs, hubris and horror. Empire's hunger. Japan's reached across Asia, Manchuria, Korea, China, Southeast Asia, Pacific Islands. Their soldiers fought fiercely. Their generals planned with brilliance. Their engineers built with impossible speed. But power without reflection becomes cruelty. Nanjing, comfort stations, Unit 731, burned cities, starved prisoners. A warrior may fight fiercely, but must never forget the lives crushed beneath his boots. Japan forgot, and the universe answered. World War II, fire, ruin, and the shattering of the blade. The war became too vast, too brutal, too costly. Millions died. Cities burned like fallen suns. Hiroshima and Nagasaki became scars upon the soul of humanity. When Japan surrendered, it was not merely a nation defeated. It was a warrior cast down, forced to look upon its own reflection and see both the beauty and the abyss. Many on my world have lived that same reckoning. We Kalee know what it is to bleed for pride and pay for folly. But Japan rose again, differently. Post-war, a warrior buried, a people reborn. They rebuilt, not with swords, with hands, with humility, with innovation, with discipline that once served war, now serving creation. Their economy flourished. Their people healed slowly, painfully. Their culture blossomed into new forms. Cinema, animation, technology, music, philosophy, science, architecture. They did not forget their past. They carried it like a scar beneath armor. This made them strong. The 1960s Japan of EARD, the rebirth of the empire. When the galaxy came to Earth, Japan awakened again. Not the empire of old, not the empire of cruelty. A new empire, the Empire of Japan. 1965, 1975. A constitutional monarchy, a democracy sharpened into a blade when the galaxy demanded it. Their military reborn as the new Imperial Defense Forces, Shinsei Gun, the reborn army, not fueled by conquest, fueled by resolve. Never again as aggressors, never again as victims, never again allow another Hiroshima on any world. They fused ancient discipline with Republic technology, shield-equipped infantry, hybrid starfighters, orbital defense ships, elite marine brigades, special forces drawn from the mountain forests, armored divisions guided by Republic advisors. And they moved with frightening speed, a sleeping giant learning to breathe fire again. The Kalee campaign, where I saw them with my own eyes, when we Kalish fought the Sith and the Soviets in the volcanic plains of Drakor. We expected Earth soldiers to be clumsy and fearful. Then Japan landed. Their Marines moved like avalanches in human shape, silent, disciplined, precise, every footstep a statement. Their officers bowed before entering my war tent. Their soldiers saluted with iron in their spines. Their fighters carved the skis with lightning. I watched them breach Soviet trenches with bayonets lowered, but not with madness or desperation, with purpose, with control, with a warrior's calm heart. They saved my warriors more than once. And when the night of 10 suns fell, when the plasma storms blinded the heavens, when Imperial remnants and Soviet Kalish shock troops surged toward our positions, Japan did not waver. They held the line beside my clans, side by side, blade to blade, honor to honor. When the battle was won, the Kalish said, "They are not like the Imperials. They are not like the Soviets. They are warriors of discipline, not domination." I agreed. Ronderou's verdict. Japan, the silent blade. If I were to name Japan, I would call it a blade that remembers. A people who have been hunters, farmers, samurai, conquerors, victims, survivors, builders, innovators, and now warriors of the stars. They are a people who learned from their scars, who reshaped their own destiny, who brought their discipline, humility, and reborn honor to my war-torn world. When I look at Japan, I see a lesson the galaxy should heed. A warrior does not fall from greatness by tasting defeat. A warrior rises to greatness by confronting their own past and forging themselves anew. And in the fires of Kalee, I saw a new empire rise, not of blood, but of resolve, a people reborn, with the storms of their ancestors behind them and the stars of their future ahead.